Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on CapnclydesMTG. And today, well, let's just say it, it is definitely a hot market because it is the time of the uncommon. We have so many uncommons at $1 to $2. I have never seen it before in my life of playing Magic. This is really insane. So let's go over some of the latest uncommons from the newest sets that are commanding quite the price tag. So before we get started, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Links down below. You can buy these cards on the TCG eBay store to support the channel. Become a member on YouTube for as little as $1. There's Patreon down there. I think Twitch. We do live streams every now and then when I'm bored. So yeah, check out the communities. Come visit us in Discord. It's all good. So without further ado, let's hit it. So first uncommon I want to talk about today, and almost the trope of the video, is Dusk Nowhere. Nowhere to run. We've talked about this before, but I think it deserves a revisiting. Starting out at around a little below 150, already good for an uncommon, has now got close to $3 as it has been anyway. It has been climbing. And honestly, the price of foils is just absurd. As you can see here, one listed for $11. I don't think that's right. I'm not going to go back and check because I was kind of ignoring the price. But you can see here, basically, you're looking at $2.50 to $3 for a normal, a foil going for a minimum of $3. This is pretty snazzy, to be fair, for an uncommon. And we have had, as you can see here in a 3-month snapshot, a high sale price. People have paid up to $13 for the foil versions. Holy beep. That is insane. So, yeah. But, I mean, with it being an uncommon, it'd be hard for it to hold those prices. However, this is still something quite unusual that we're not used to seeing in modern-day Magic. Moving on to the next one coming in, Sheltered by Ghosts. This uncommon needs to be talked about. Coming in around $3 to start with, it was really good. I talked about how sweet of a card this was going to be as removal plus everything else, and it has taken off up to a $6 to $7 common or uncommon, which is quite the absurdity. With the foil coming in close to 10. It has been a long time since we've seen an uncommon come out this strong, not only from the get-go, but just get better and better, as this thing is seeing tons of play in Standard and is sneaking its way into many other formats. Because, well, 2 mana, make your creature get +1/+0, lifelink, ward 2, and exile a non-land permanent the opponent controls. Not just a creature, a non-land permanent. Anything on the other side. This is insanely good. And I don't know who was play testing this card and thought, you know what this needs? This needs to be an enchant creature with a +1/+0, lifelink, and ward 2, on top of what else it does, which is basically chained to the rocks for anything. And we'll just add 1 extra colorless for it. It'll be fine. Yeah. So you got these floating around. You don't need more than 4. I would definitely be getting rid of them because you never know when it might plummet, which is it's probably going to be never. But hey, it will be reprinted because this is just too much for an uncommon. So moving on, we have another Duskmorn Dooley. It is Withering Torment. Not seeing as much popularity, but seeing some more play. Starting out around a little above 150. It's now coming in around $3 to $3.50. $3.25 appears to be the normal price, but destroy target creature or enchantment, lose 2 life. This is a better version of the 1 black and 1 card that does the exact same thing, except you lose life equal to the mana total. This is just a loss of 2 life, which is much easier to use when you use it on larger things. Not to mention, it does cost 1 more, but it is also an instant. The other one's a sorcery, making this one very popular in several decks. Good removal, which we don't have a lot of in Standard, especially removal that has options, where not only does it destroy a creature, it also destroys an enchantment. I look for more cards like this to be printed and to kind of command this kind of value for their versatility. Again, Dusk Morn seems to be not only the set everybody thought it was going to be, but that and much more, as we have so many uncommons breaking that taboo $2 to $3 mark and being highly, highly playable. So moving on, next we have another Dusk Morn, less known card, but I figured it deserves some talking, Exercise. And I don't mean like get on the treadmill and take a run. I mean like exorcism style. White and 1 sorcery. Exile target artifact, enchantment, or creature with power 4 or greater. This is a better disenchant with the only drawback being a sorcery. So as you can see, it started out around, I don't know, $15, $16, $17. But it's now sporting about a 50-cent price tag, which you may think is not much, but according to these market values, the cost of this card has increased by almost 200%. And that says something for a card that A, is an uncommon, and B, was cheap to begin with, much like other uncommons. And this was a card I thought was good, but not a card I thought would see this kind of impact in the monetary environment due to just how some decks play. But this card is seeing lots of attention, not only for Standard, but for what it offers people in Commander, and even some of the older formats as a sideboard card for, again, the simple versatility of removal plus a disenchant. And also it has that magic word on it. It has exile. The fact that this exiles the creature, enchantment, or artifact means it stops shenanigans from combo decks of things in the graveyard, or when creatures die, they trigger abilities. Again, making this a really cheap and good removal spell that White hasn't had in quite a while. Swords of Plowshares like. Then we got this little fella spiking back from the days of Thunder Junction. Get on the train. This town ain't big enough. So a blue and 4. A spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets your permanent. Return up to 2 target non-land permanents to their owner's hands. So why is this going up in price? Well, first off, it started out like a couple pennies. Literally. Has jumped to $7, now has calmed down to around 4. Here's what the deal is. This is basically like from Throne of Eldraine, the 1 blue and 1 that you have to pick up a permanent and your opponent does, but it's a creature. This is the same thing, but it's for non-land permanents. And if you target one of your permanents and one of your opponents, it only costs 2 blue, so it doesn't cost 5. Now, if you do use it for just your opponents, 5 mana to pick up 2 of their permanents is not the worst thing in the world. Or you could just use it on your own permanents for a blue and 1 to pick up 2 of your permanents. And why would you do that? Well, enter the battlefield triggers. Can get out of control when you just start bouncing all your stuff to get all the goodies over and over. So 3 different ways to use a card. Again, versatility has really had this card growing as a price tag. And with that said, I want to show you one of the cards making this thing so popular. And it's not an uncommon, but it's a rare that I think has snuck under the radar, and I think we need to talk about it. And that rare, believe it or not, is from Bloomburrow. It's Storm Chaser's Talent. Can you believe this thing is going for around $20? I did not sell mine for close to this amount of money, and I'm a little pissy about it. But anyway, so for 1 blue, when it enters, you get a 1/1 blue otter with prowess. Already good for 1 blue. So, I mean, basically, that's everything you need. But for a blue and 1, when it becomes level 2, return target instant sorcery card be graved to your hand. No, nothing like putting that 1 red +2/+0, give something trample and +1/+1 spell back in your hand. for your prowess creature. And then if you happen to get to 6 mana, which if you do, Lord help you, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 otter with prowess. This is taking off in Standard, along with some other formats, looking for something like this that has that prowess ability with the ability to do other things. Because, like I mentioned, this town ain't big enough for the both of us. You literally play this for 1 blue, make your otter. That card we just looked at says permanence. You can pick this back up and make another otter, while at the same time triggering the prowess on the other otter you got, while at the same time, because you picked this up, you trigger the prowess on your other otter, and it's just this giant, almost like a storm deck, where you have creatures that just prowess up and just beat face in blue of all colors. And after that, you pair it with any color you want, probably red. But honestly, it's just all ham from there. And to see this thing come out when it first came out in the 10th month of a year, so it's been almost 3 months, for it to go from 50 cents to $20 with a high sell price of 36, mind you, at one point. Like, this is just absurd for the kind of spike that this almost oblivion rare that no one was looking at has just snuck onto the battlefield with prowess, you could say. So, with all that said, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, be kind, and as always, I hope to see you across from the game table. Otters with prowess. The things I thought I would never be reporting on. Anyway.